job.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the post-credit show.
Hi.
Nailed it.
Eventually we got it.
Welcome to the show where we talk about the things we've been up to in games and movies and other nerd-associated things.
Yes. Stuff.
Movies and things.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Clearly you're last today.
I don't even know what I've been up to. Have I been living for the last week?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. Oh.
I will go first then. Not super exciting. I guess I'll start with the multiplayer stuff. We all played Escapist.
All right,
yes, you did.
right,
we
all
did.
Lead into that.
All right.
As we were just talking about.
The Escapists 2, everybody at
Yes.
Barrel Roll finally owns it.
Yeah. Sorry.
We were good.
Well, as soon as Tony bought it, I'm like, okay, I have to do it now. He's going to start playing, and I'm going to be so far behind.
Oh no, we were waiting.
We were waiting. We weren't.
I felt we wasted a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We probably could have been more efficient with our time.
Now, you and I, we played the first prison, other than the tutorial prison, which we can't play together.
Yeah.
We played the first prison. Now, Brian and I played that level, and we'd beaten it.
I did not play this tutorial, so I was walking in blind.
You were very blind. Tony had played the tutorial, and the tutorial literally shows you, you can dig, you can do this, you can do, like, you know, very basic things.
I started out by just collecting random things.
Yeah, you had so much
You
stuff.
did. You had a lot of.
Actually, Tony also had a lot of stuff, because he was like, I'm out of space, and it's like, well, what do you have in your, like...
I had sugar and cookies.
Well, but so did, like, Tony had all sorts of stuff, and you're just, like, you two are hilarious, because it's like, oh, well, I've got this, and I'm like, why? Like, what are you building with it? I don't know, what can I build with it? And I'm like...
We give it to the cops to bribe them.
So,
Sure.
Here's the big piece, is Brian and I obviously played before, so our role was, you guys told us to do something, we would do it.
Yes, which I got a great weapon out of Brian.
So, so that's the piece, is whatever you guys told us to do, we would do. That way you guys could work into the game like we did, because we honestly played for probably a week before we actually escaped that prison. So we played way longer than the four of us did.
What day of it was it in game before we?
19? 20?
Like in ours?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, ours was like
19.
No, we weren't there that long.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I think it was.
Okay, combined total, we were probably... Because we restarted a couple times, too. I think, honestly, we were probably in that prison for a good 2 months.
Yeah.
Before we actually escaped. We also got locked in the air vents.
I didn't even want to try the air vents. I think I accidentally got up in one.
So, here's the thing with the air vents. The air vents allow you to move throughout the prison.
Yeah.
Not outside of it. So that was our first mistake. One of our escape attempts, we went up, we came down, all the doors were locked, we went... Ruh-roh.
What do we do now?
And then we couldn't get back in the vent. So, that's the thing with the air vents. So they're useful for instance, Brian and I, our first escape, now that you guys have escaped, we dug. But
that was my plan.
I know. So your plan, I was like, all right, like, you know, what do you need? What do you need to dig then? What do you need to dig then, Chris?
Super pickaxe.
Well, so he's
shovel.
like, I need a pickaxe, and it's like, well, maybe you should check the last page to because it's like, yes, let's dig. Digging is a good.
And so
way
I started trying to attempt it. And then
so you were all ready to dig, and then we discovered. I think Tony discovered.
Tony
clippers,
really wanted to get out really fast.
and but
he wanted to go to sleep.
Here's the thing: digging with the tool you built for him would have gotten us out fairly quickly.
Really quickly.
But I think the problem with the screwdriver was the issue.
We had
or the fake fence.
What?
The fake fence were the issue.
I had them.
With the screwdriver, you can use the...
And the screwdriver, I had undone yours and Tony's to the point where if we decided to break out that night, we were done.
Do it.
So that was the thing. Like, I was prepping for the dig, and then all of a sudden Tony discovered the clippers, and he's like, we're going through the fence. And I'm like, but there's sniper. All right. Like,
yeah, and
we figured that out.
we knew that already. So that was the best part, was it was just like, Tony's like, we're going through the fence. And I'm like, Well, we're gonna die, but alrighty then, let's do it.
How many times did we die? We died a lot.
No, twice.
No, we only
died
really
twice.
went down twice.
Oh, okay.
I know I went solitary twice.
Oh, okay.
We only went down twice, and then Tony decided with a nail file he was gonna finish the last 2%.
And he did.
During the day.
During the day, and he just went for it.
I
and we
made
ran.
sure I stood back, though,
Yeah.
in case I had to run back into
Yeah,
the
me
building.
too. That's I like that one. Like Tony's like at the fence, like, "Ah," and it opens, and we're all just like, dude, do we?
Go, go,
Dude,
go,
dude,
go,
go,
go, go.
Because yeah, we were all like,
Because the dogs were right behind.
yeah, we were all just like, we're just gonna wait here we're just gonna wait right here as Tony does this in case they start shooting, and we can all be like, what? I didn't know he was.
Because it was broad daylight, too.
Yeah.
It was. Like, I'm so shocked. He's like, guys, I'm just gonna finish this off. And I'm like, now? Oh God, he's going now.
He really did. Like that was. It was very entertaining playing with everybody.
Very Leroy Jenkins.
It
was like,
It was very Leroy Jenkins. It was just like, let's go.
I almost got caught in the fence.
oh
way
yeah, I
out.
remember that. I remember that.
I did. I was trying to run towards it. Like, no, back up.
So in all honesty, that was that was
That
very,
took way longer than it should have.
But now you know what to do in
Kind of.
that prison.
Yeah.
I will admit I spent most of my time just beating up people
Yeah.
as a fake guard.
Again, that's part of
And
the
I would
game.
run around
though.
and just punch you randomly.
Well, yeah, but
As a
that's
fake guard, I was running around
You
beating
loved-
people up.
You with
I
a
never
soap and
questioned.
sock.
the best part
Ever
of that game
questioned.
though is just how open it is, and you can explore and try things. And you're like,
Yeah.
well, what happens if I try this? What happens if I try that? What happens if I do this? Like, let's just see what happens. So that's part of the game, and that's why I didn't want.
There was one door, though, that it said I could lift up.
Yes, and someone has to sneak in. There's a way out that direction.
Okay.
So that's the thing is Brian and I didn't want to sit there going, okay guys, let's do this, and get
Yeah.
out of the prison, because that's no fun for you guys, because the fun for us for a week was legitimately like,
Figuring out.
How do we do
like, let's build pickaxes. So we're literally under the ground with pickaxes until, and like they're breaking, because we'd upgraded them.
Yeah.
But they still, like, it's like, okay, so we're sitting there calculating, going, okay, we need this many
But you could do-
pickaxes. So Brian discovers, like, the ultimate weapon, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, but if it deteriorates just as fast, you're using twice as many materials
Yeah.
to get a thing.
get a thing.
And he's like, well, I built it, let's try it. Well, it got through an insane amount of dirt with barely any durability loss, and we're like, the god weapon!
We just need to build.
Tonight
Or
we
are we
escape.
keeping that?
No, so if you're underground and digging, you actually have to build supports to keep the ground
Yeah.
Oh,
up.
do we?
Yeah.
So that it doesn't like collapse.
So it doesn't collapse.
Which makes
on it.
sense.
Which
The
makes
timber.
sense, but yeah, so we didn't discover that until we were underground. We were all ready to go. We were gonna dig out because we were like, we've got enough pickaxes. We are good.
We're good.
So we start digging, and all of a sudden it's like you can't keep digging without supports, and we're like,
Shit.
so we look in the thing, going like, how do you build supports? 3 lumber, or whatever
Yeah,
it was,
3
and you're going like,
Damn it.
we don't have any lumber. So then
Yeah.
we're like, oh man. So abandoned ship. Brian goes back to his,
Now, question though.
Yes.
If you did that, could you last it over a night? Because you could just put your box
yes.
over the hole.
So you put
Yep.
the box over the hole, and you're good.
And you hide it.
Now, again, that's in the prison we just did. So the whole point
That
to
was an
that
easy
the
prison.
whole point to that prison is the guards really don't care
Yeah.
about a lot of stuff
Minimum
going
secure.
on.
security
Very
prison.
minimum security
They were
prison.
tough guards. I tried hitting a few of them.
They are.
That didn't work.
You just need to know how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good
I
at
didn't
beating
try.
up
I
guards.
didn't try the fancy electric glove that I.
No,
got.
no. Like literally a baseball bat with the nails.
Pretty good.
3 hits.
Yeah.
Soap.
No, do not go after them with
That's
the
what I was
soap
going
base.
at.
Yeah, no. You need a better weapon. to
Soap
go
and
after
sock
them.
is like the
The-
easiest weapon to
Yeah.
make.
I know because I made that one,
I know.
and then I walked around as a fake guard, just smacking
With
people.
a soap and sock.
So yeah, we wanted to make sure we didn't like sit there going, okay guys, use these, let's dig out, because we could have been out in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because Brian and I know that prison and what to do.
Inside and out.
And the other escape,
The next
we
one.
need to try,
The
because
next one?
no, in that prison there's another escape
Yeah.
route.
Okay.
Would be interesting to try. So once you get that door open, there's a place to put a crate, and essentially you hide in the crate and somehow
Okay.
get taken out. But you have to build a crate and do some stuff.
Yeah.
So we haven't done that one yet.
We haven't done that one yet.
We legitimately took 2 months in that prison to dig a hole out of that.
Out of
prison.
that. In real
I-
life, it would take that longer.
But I did find though beating people up was a good way to find stuff I couldn't find in their
Yeah.
drawers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So the thing is, and I believe as the prisons go on, is those people start, because everybody does have a rating of you.
Yeah.
So if they don't look highly on you, I think that's going to start causing problems. So again, we
Yeah.
played the most basic prison we could possibly
Train
play.
next.
Train is the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I will jump out.
The train is actually nice because the clues are on the wall, because it is a timed prison.
Yeah, you have half an hour.
You have...
Well, we've lasted way longer than half an
Well,
hour.
but the train level, once you read the clues on the wall,
You can
becomes
escape
very simplistic, and you can escape in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
And especially if you do we beat up a guard right off the bat and just, yeah. So that's the trick. Is it's actually better as a team.
Yeah.
Because your cell door is already unlocked.
Does it stay unlocked?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
So we got out and it was like, well, there's one guard. If
We
we
didn't know what
beat
to
him
do
up-
for
no,
the
so
while-
we
for a
legitimately
while.
just. Well, yeah, we were standing in our thing, and all of a sudden I'm like, Brian, there's a timer. Like we gotta
book it
because there was no roll call. There's no thing because you're on a prison train in the Wild West essentially.
Yeah.
As it's going, so we're just like, oh, we're cellmates. This is awesome, Brian. Like, yeah. And we're just like,
Oh shit, timer.
I wonder when they let us out. Timer's just going. Get out, and all of a sudden one of the guards comes after me because it's like I exited.
Yeah.
Ryan's like, I've got you. So the two of us have to beat down the one guy. So yeah, like that one's it's an interesting experiment.
Okay.
But like I said, I've gone into the third prison.
I tried it this last week too.
Yeah, and there's
Oh
more
my
security.
gosh.
It'll be
A lot more strict.
yes. So it'll be a lot more interesting running around with
When you-
They have to
lot.
try and catch me first.
So
A lot easier
did you?
to catch you.
Yeah. Do you know how they catch you now?
No.
Scooters.
If you piss off a guard, should I just spoil this?
Yeah, do it.
Go for
They
it.
have guns.
Oh, they just shoot you.
Yeah, they can shoot
So
you.
you
You
can't
get that
run
little
anymore,
red
right?
I will
dot.
take corners.
That red dot will still stay on you, and they will shoot you.
Is there a sniper?
I
Now,
don't.
if
They
I-
have to have
if I-
line of sight of me, so I'll keep
Does
taking
that mean we can
corners.
get guns in that level then?
I don't know.
That'll be interesting.
Maybe.
We gotta beat up a guard and find out.
I have never had a chance to beat up a guard because they just shoot me.
Shoot you.
I'm just like when the first time I got in trouble, I was like, okay, I could just run away from the guard. I'll be fine. You know. And then I see this red dot on me, like, what the hell's that? And then bang, bang, and it's like, ah. So it was a little more.
Yeah, that and it is. You go in I went into the workout area of that one, and I'm like, why is there like the contraband scanner thing? Like, oh my god, I can't even I can't even carry around a guard's uniform at this point in case something happens. I can't even carry around my shiv that
That's why you
yeah.
build a guard uniform.
but it's still
It's
contraband.
still contraband, and
Still
it'll
walk
detect
around.
it.
Walk around.
You could, and I'm not sure if the scanner. No, the scanner doesn't detect it if you're wearing it. But that's the thing is, when we first started playing, I'd always build the little toothbrush shiv.
Yeah, yeah.
Because again, it's like the soap on a sock thing is
Super easy.
fairly easy to build. But I'd carry that around just as like a little extra damage instead of punching. I can't even carry that around in this prison, so it's like.
Hide it on the floor.
But then the guards
Go
see it
see
and
it.
pick it up.
Yeah.
Beat up the guard.
Well, that's how I get the guards into rooms usually. Is I make some kind of like contraband that I can just throw away.
Yeah.
And I put it into a cell that's away from everybody else, but the one guard patrolling it sees it and goes, "Who left that there?" And they go into the cell, and I'm behind the wall, and I'm like, "Ah!"
Day one, I was on that level though. Just took a tape out of. I looked in my drawer before roll call. Took some tape.
Yeah.
Ran to roll call through the workout.
Yes.
Shot.
Yeah.
Just done. It's like, ah, damn it. I did not see those contraband detectors.
That one will be an interesting one to
How is
play
tape contraband?
together. Because there's nothing you can use tape for that is.
I guess.
Like, the razors aren't contraband until
'Cause
you
you can
attach them
shave.
to something, because you can technically
shave.
use them
Yeah.
for shaving. So that's the thing is, like, it's the same with paper mache. It's contraband, because clearly you're trying to do something off with it.
They don't have any arts and crafts in that prison. So you
I'm just building a volcano, man. It's my volcano. It's got a bomb inside. I mean,
volcano.
wait for it to erupt. It'll be awesome.
Baking soda and vinegar.
Put your
only.
face really, close to it. It's a surprise. Anyways, it was interesting the first time.
Did you like it?
Going in blind, I was really confused and just wandered. I know I missed a
that's
few
fun, too.
calls.
Missed a few calls.
When?
Oh yeah. And then we got to like 1.5 stars.
Well, we
Well,
started
because
the
of me.
game. We started the game at 3 stars because of Tony.
Oh, he didn't show up to roll call?
He didn't do a lot of stuff, so he kept getting in trouble. And he's like, well, and all I'm doing is listening because I was playing World of Warcraft when we first started. When we were all like, yeah, we'll all hop on in about half an hour.
Half an hour.
So I was waiting for all of you guys. before we all jumped in, so we could all kind of get that start right at the beginning together.
Yeah.
And Tony's like, "Oh, I'll start the game and stuff," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm in the middle of this giant thing in Warcraft. Like, I can't join you right now. Like, I'll keep talking to you because this is where I play." And I was using Discord, so I'm like, "We're good. Like, I'll join you when I'm done whatever I'm doing."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay." So I'm sitting there, and he's like, "Well, what is it? What does this mean?" I'm like, "What does what mean?" He's like, "Well, in this corner, this is. Why are they beating me up? Why are they beating me up?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
What did you do?
What did you do? Oh, I don't know. I was just walking around, and I'm like, "Where were you walking around? Did you happen to hit someone while you were walking around? Like, what did you do?" And he's like, they just started coming after me. I'm like, "They don't do that in that prison. Like, I know for a fact they don't do that in that prison." And he's like,
I think that's where I jumped in. He was crying.
He was, because he was trying to run away from like all these things. Well,
Like,
because
the
then he was like,
Discord.
I don't even have anything anymore. And it's like you're carrying contraband and there's dogs around. Like they sniff it and they'll chase you. And he's like, "How do I drop things?"
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, that one was.
I
pretty...
came into whimpering when I first joined.
Well, and then we all joined in, and it's 3 stars. So there's dogs around. So like anything you carry, they're like, "You have contraband."
I gotta make my own custom character because I walked around as there were 2 Sams.
Yes.
Yeah. We made our custom characters.
I didn't have time.
Well, no, you just hopped in.
Oh yeah, you just hopped in.
Yep.
But now you get a Friday the 13th map.
Yep.
I will wear that though.
Because you beat
escaped
the first. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So every time you
What
beat
was
a prison,
that
you
ending
get one.
video? It looked like someone's in a bush and then get caught.
That's you in the bush.
Well, or that's one of us in the
That was
bush.
you in the bush. It
Yeah,
wasn't
I
me.
think I had Tony in the it
okay.
picks a random person. And shows them.
Okay. Then you pretty much essentially probably get caught again.
Well, because the camera crew's following you as
Yeah.
you escape. Like
Yeah.
that's the joke is
That's the
they're
joke.
following you when you escape.
Okay.
That's even the train level when we escaped. It was like, "All right, let's head east," and you're like, "Which way's east?" Or you're supposed to head to Mexico, and it's like, "Well, which way's south?" Like,
yeah.
I don't know. We'll start walking and hope. Like.
Yeah.
So no, it's a fun game.
I
But
need
yeah,
to
it's,
mess around with it some more.
Oh yeah.
yeah, and that's kind
Figure
of the
out
bonus.
things.
And like I said, each prison has a single player way of escaping that you can't do with a group. So that's kind of the nice part is you can replay the first prison
Mm-hmm.
and try and figure out the single player way to escape.
Dig a hole.
No, not, you can do you can do that multiplayer or single player. But you've already so if you go into your prison record, it'll show you
What ways you've.
it'll show you the map or the prison name, and
Yeah.
it'll go escaped by perimeter break, which is what we did. So by going out the fence or digging a hole,
Yeah.
we've done a perimeter break, and you get a key.
Yeah.
There's also, and then it kind of gives you a hint as to like how to escape the next one. So it'll be like walk out the
Yeah.
front door,
Like Tony said,
like Tony said. There is a way, but it's only in single player.
with the camera crew.
And then there's a third way, which is like out through the post or something. Like
Yeah,
that, I
out
think
with the
it's
post
called.
or-
But that is only multiplayer because to open that door,
You need
You
someone
need
to
someone.
sneak under.
someone opens the door and someone
Was
has
it
to sneak
Pull
in.
or was it?
I don't know.
I think it was left
on
because the way it was going.
on the map. It
It
pulls
looks like he's pulling.
It pulls it this way, so
Okay.
you sneak in the tiny crack, and then yes. So yeah, there's different things, and the cool part is like even when we were playing, and no one was giving me instructions, I'm just like I have screwdrivers. I'm gonna start doing like
You
random.
just gotta do stuff.
So I was just like and then I had the painting job, so I had the paint cans, and I made the paint ladder,
Mhm.
which I managed to work out how to actually work.
Yeah, I'll have to see that.
There's a button. You place it down.
Yeah.
It's not just drop. You actually have to.
Oh, you have to place
Place
it.
it.
Oh. Okay.
So I placed it, and I started unscrewing. Like I made it into the security room where all of our contraband items end up when we get caught, and I'm like, oh, that's this room. I'm gonna leave before I get caught.
Hmm.
So that's the
Yeah.
that was kind of I got to play around while you guys were just like I don't know. Do we dig? Do we do this? What do we do? I'm like I'm waiting for you guys to tell me. Because
What do
I
you
know.
do? want to do.
I remember I showed up to a job in the guard uniform,
Yeah.
and they didn't even bat an eye.
No. Why are you cleaning graffiti? No reason.
I don't know.
I'm a good police officer.
I'm a good guard. I'm
And I
gonna
think
keep my
I
prison
think
clean.
because I know the second time we tried to escape, the guard came and we all rushed to try and beat up the guard.
Yep.
I want to say that was me maybe that punched you out.
Possibly.
I remember.
Well,
That
because
was
again,
just right around. But
and that's the part is there's no like
You can't
actually you
target.
can target. There's a target button.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, but at the same time, if you target and he falls down and you're in the middle of a swing, it's gonna happen just like it
Yeah,
happens
it's all
now.
right,
If,
yeah.
you know, if Brian's standing in between us and we're punching him and Brian goes down, I go, oomph, I'm gonna hit you. Like it's not like I'm like, oh, Brian's down mid punch. So
It's how you didn't end up in solitary. You were knocked out.
that's how I ended up in solitary. No, I didn't end up in solitary
No,
that
yeah,
time.
you-
I ended up in the med bay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We knocked you out.
'Cause, yeah, that's how we do it. We get partway through the fence and just start hitting each
And
other.
when we get screwed, we just start punching
and
each
only
other.
one of us ends up in solitary.
Yeah, the last guy.
I vote Tony
I laid in
because he's
bed.
not here.
I laid in bed.
Did you not? Did you not do the potato
Nope,
thing? You
I
just
laid in
waited?
bed.
You just waited for the
Yep.
whole 2 minutes.
Yup.
I loved Tony peeled the potatoes and went and lay down because he's like, I guess I'm in solitary, and it's like, and then like I peeled my potatoes and walked out the door, and he's like, how'd you get out? And I'm like, I walked.
And then he tries like, my door's still closed.
No, it wasn't. He could get it. He peeled the potatoes enough. He
I
had
didn't
no
have
time
to
in
peel-
solitary.
Oh, he had. Oh,
I didn't peel the potatoes. I just laid in
You
bed.
just waited.
Yep.
Yep. No, you can.
you can.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. I'll sleep. Get my energy back up.
Well, but that was the
Okay.
funniest part. Is it's like, yeah, Tony had peeled the potatoes, and he was like, all right. And then
Not
I
to
ended up
say
in
it.
solitary, and I peeled the potatoes and walked out the door, and he's like, how did you get less time than I? And I'm like, did you peel the potatoes? Yeah. Walk out the door. Oh.
Oh.
But if you miss some of those hints, you're pooped.
Yeah.
So
Well, I didn't anyways.
either way, the Escapists.
Yes.
Good game. If you haven't played the Escapists
Try it out.
2,
Yeah.
hop on that. It is
It's fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then other multiplayer I played with my brother on pre-sequel.
Noise
That game is much better
with people.
with people.
I find a lot of games are better with.
Yeah.
And not
Well, we
people,
weren't talking or anything. Like, we didn't even plug our mics in. We just
Yeah.
he was
played.
he was a good 10 levels higher than me. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and he joined my game, so we just ran over things, and I went into story mode or story missions that I shouldn't have.
Oh.
And now you're hooped.
Nope. 'Cause
Oh.
I went as we went along, and side missions opened up.
Mhm.
I did collect those,
Oh.
so I do have side missions available to me.
Nice.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back and actually look at different guns, and because I was just trying to rush through story mode, because I thought, hey, I have the higher level guy, I'll move through it
Yeah.
pretty fast. Yeah, I found out he's not even done, and he's level 29. Like, and he's
alright.
stuck where he is. So I guess we're gonna have to team up again at some point and do that. What else did
I do
do?
like playing with other people though with a lot
Yeah.
of those games.
Me too.
It makes it better.
Yeah. Well, and again, like even like I've tried the Escapist on my own, and it's fun, but it's way more fun when everybody's goofing around or someone screws up royally and you're like, crud. Now I have to like you're running
Oh, yeah,
back to your
I got-
cell like hide all.
I
the
got
time.
told I was making too much noise.
What when we were playing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, Jen could hear us.
Yeah, no, my brother,
Yeah.
his sister-in-law were
Oh yeah.
right above me,
Yeah. That's
and they could hear.
yeah.
I got kicked upstairs too.
I heard you getting kicked up. Do you want me? Do you want me to? Okay.
she was just
No
looking at me
words.
like,
No words. Just, all right, I'm out.
So that's all I heard from you was like off the mic slightly. I was like, do you want me to go upstairs? Okay. That was
she was laughing. She was like, "You guys are having blast though."
well. That's even my wife's in there, and she's like, "Were you playing with people?" Because she had gone to bed, and that's like, and it's like, and she's like, "Were you playing with people?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was playing with people." She goes, "Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not like going nuts because I could hear you talking."
We're just making sure you're not going
Yeah.
nuts.
No, Brian, go this way.
But yes, continued the Marvel marathon,
Oh yeah. So what movie did you?
Age of Ultron.
And what's your next one?
I'm actually going to next week because I got to catch up.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
with Marvel releasing
week
Infinity War
earlier.
earlier, I had to watch two.
Catch it, yeah.
So it'll be Ant-Man and Civil War this week.
Ooh, those are two good ones.
So they tie into each other, kind of.
Go see Jen.
Maybe.
It's exactly what she wants to do. I really liked Ultron.
I did.
I did.
I think there
good.
was. I think it could have been better. I think that's one of
I
those
don't
ones
know.
where. But if you listen to it, like I loved the stuff on the farm. Like I thought that was good team building stuff, and Joss really wanted to focus more on that. But because Marvel wanted to, and this is the point where Kevin wasn't fully in charge, wanted to set up Thor Ragnarok. We got that weird like Thor cave scene.
Yeah.
So little things. Ultron's still a good movie.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's one of my favorites.
Yep, it's good. It's just there's little things where I'm like I can understand where it would have been a wicked movie, if this would have happened and that would have happened, the way that the people who wrote it actually wanted it to happen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I did watch that last night actually. Watched Home. Alien.
Yep, purple
alien. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Where he's helping a little girl find her mom.
That's all I know. He's a little purple alien.
Yeah.
Jim Parsons?
Yes, Jim Parsons. It was okay. It wasn't.
That is what I've heard of that film.
Well, it was almost like they were trying to bring Sheldon
into a
movie.
I feel bad for Jim Parsons on that note.
Because it seemed like he got typecast.
Now he's pretty typecast now.
Because he was playing that, like, not knowing any emotion, what is going on, robot-y talk type thing. But that's
he's
exactly
been in a
what
couple other things
Sheldon.
where he doesn't play that role, which I think is good.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very Sheldon-esque movie. Yeah.
Sheldon makes mad bank, yo. That's why there's that Young Sheldon show.
Yeah.
And apparently it's doing well.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
We watched an episode of it, and I'm like, but that's not Sheldon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I did watch just one episode of Jessica Jones. That's all I had time for this week.
I am on 2 episodes of Jessica Jones.
I was promised sex scenes by Tony, and there was nothing in the first scene.
I'm with
nothing
you.
in the first show.
I know.
It seems interesting because it seems like they're opening up to more superhero-y stuff, especially with the wizard.
The wizard?
Wizard. I thought it was wizard.
No, wizard.
Okay, I misheard that then.
Whizzes.
Oh, okay. Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'm
That's
not
okay.
going to go into it very much. There's a guy named Wizard.
The thing I like about episode 1 that has drawn me into this season more than the first season of Jessica Jones is just... It's not her and Kilgrave, it's her and her past, and she actually gets to do, I think, more PI stuff involving, trying to dig up how she got her powers, her past and all. And I'm like, I dig this more.
Okay.
It
was a good opening.
I wanted
episode.
to watch Jessica Jones episode 2 of season 2, but no, I wanted to watch episode 2 more than episode 2 of season 1. Like, Jessica Jones started on season 1, and I'm like, This one, like, I got to the end of episode 1, and I'm like, all right. When I get some time off, this is going to be a good show to watch.
Speaking of time off.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing this week is finishing Jessica Jones, because, I did episodes 1 and 2.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me.
Cool.
Cool.
Hi, Muddy One.
Me?
Sure. I'm good to go now.
We did rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, right. So yeah, Escapist with you guys.
Yeah.
I finally finished my StarCraft war chest.
Oh, good.
So
for this month? Is it a month?
It's not a monthly thing. It's like an event kind of thing. Okay. So they're just on their second war chest. And I completed, so I unlocked all the cosmetic skins for my Zerg race. Which is...
Zergs. Protoss, man. Protoss.
No, I stick with Terran.
Oh, man, we could be a great team.
What do you give me that look for? Nuclear bomb.
This is like when I was a human in Warcraft, and he was like... Human.
Nuclear bomb. Battleships, or whatever they're called. Is it battleships?
Yeah, battleships.
Do Protoss have the, like...
That's it. You build 2 separate command centers, one with the nuclear bomb access, the one with the battleship
Protoss
access.
is so expensive, though. They build stuff.
It took too much time with the pylons. I didn't like the pylons. And that's the same with the Zerg, as I didn't like the
creep.
The creep? Oh, it's
with Terran. I can build up anywhere, and if I needed to move, I'm gone.
I know. I always hated those ones when you were playing like StarCraft 1 on BattleNet, and you had to destroy their stupid command center, and there was that one human who was like.
Yeah, he just
like my whole base is destroyed, but I'm gonna keep this game going
forever and ever
until you find it.
Until I find it, and thank goodness I was Protoss, because I just had all my little ships flying all over. It was like you 3 to that corner, because there's nothing you can do to defend it.
Yeah.
So it's like you 3 to that corner, you 3 to that corner, you 3 up there, you over there, and big the ship that launched all the tinier ships. You just start cruising around in a giant circular.
That's right, battleships. Send in 3s, squads of 3s.
Yeah, but my little Protoss ships are zippy.
Battleships are slow.
Similar.
Yeah.
But boom, 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 boom. Done.
Yeah, but once you find the one with your little zippy ships, then they all fly in.
Yeah.
Protoss.
Protoss.
Terran.
Zerg.
We make a great team if we all played.
If Warcraft 3...
I fortified, build my supply depot bunker area, and
Honest to
I'm
goodness,
good.
if Warcraft 3 Remastered comes out...
I would.
Starcraft.
I was watching... That's one thing I was doing this week, too, is I was watching the cinematics of all the Warcraft.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I wish Warcraft 3 was remastered and released, because that would...
Well, there was a big update that made it widescreen and a whole bunch of other stuff, so Warcraft 3 is now playable on, like, you know, modern-day televisions, but it still looks like Warcraft 3.
I want to remaster.
So that's the thing is like, everybody's like, so is this the remaster, or is this, or are you guys just, like, prepping for the remaster sort of thing?
Yeah. And I totally forgot, like, watching the cinematics that Draenei were in Warcraft. Like, when you see the demons come, you see there's a Draenei, like, looking dude that's, like, casting stuff.
Yes, but they were demons at that point. They were not Draenei.
No, they weren't Draenei.
They retconned that lovely thing into... I remember Space Goats when they first came.
So, what else did I...
Watched some cinematics, played some StarCraft.
Last night watched the Star Trek Beyond, just the most recent
The most
Star
recent
Trek
movie.
As we were getting confused.
That
Star
really
Trek
starred
was.
Simon Pegg. He was like a large part of that film.
He
Well, he was one of the writers.
I know he's one of the writers, but he was... I found that the other two were a pretty good ensemble thing, but Kirk and Spock were still like...
Well, yes, because that's always going to be...
Except the Beyond one, Simon Pegg, like Scotty, was in a big portion of that film.
He played a big part.
Like, way bigger than you'd expect Scotty to play. Not that I mind. I love Simon Pegg, but... And I'm not sure if that's... No, Anton Yelkin had finished...
He
filming.
did. That wasn't his last movie.
Not his last movie, yeah. So, but he had finished filming it that day.
And they have a nice for Anton
at the end.
Wow. And that's when Leonard Nimoy passed away too. So it was like in memory of Leonard Nimoy at the end, and then for Anton. It was like it was kind of sad. It was like oh gosh.
And this person, and this person.
Yeah. And then
that wasn't a bad flick though.
No, it was disappointing it didn't do too well at the box office. So they could keep going with that. I like that new.
They still want to make the fourth one.
Well, and the problem was
like
part of it too. After the first one or the second one, the plan really was to restart the TV series as like a mini series with those people. So
I think it was after 2.
I think it was when they send them on their mission. So it's like you're going on this 7-year mission or whatever. That was supposed to launch a TV thing, but they couldn't get the network stuff to work out, so we never actually got.
3.
So we got a third movie without J.J. Abrams, without the same writers, without the. It's just like
it did feel like a different movie.
It felt like a different
like
Star Trek, yeah. As opposed to like, and I know people hate the whole like con thing and all of that jazz, but I thought it was a good movie.
I thought it was.
I'm kind of with those people, I guess, because it's. All you did was in that scene essentially is you switched people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, but the fact that
like,
Khan was the bad guy and this and that, like they were, people were just.
Well, it just yeah. And that's the thing; they didn't do anything different because it's a different timeline.
Yeah.
They should be doing different things.
Well, Khan was different for a large
not overly.
Part. Not overly, but
he was pretty much the same guy.
But well,
I bet you didn't watch. Did you ever watch the original?
Yeah.
With Khan in it?
Yeah.
Was it the same?
Well, obviously that one scene was different. Like there was callbacks.
No, that's the movie. He was actually in the TV show before. The movie.
See, and I never TV show.
That's what I mean, because the TV show explains how he got marooned on that planet and why it's Kirk's fault that he did. So it just didn't.
I never Star Trek very much. The movies
I didn't.
Especially the original ones.
It.
I never really.
No.
Next Generation was my generation of Star Trek.
I was never Star Trek. There was way too much to get into by the time people were like Star Trek, and I'm like.
I watched Next Generation, so I didn't really watch the original.
Yeah.
I tried watching Next Generation. Like even recently, I'm like, wow, Patrick Stewart, how bad is it? Ooh. That is a rough show to. I know it's
dated.
On Netflix. I tried watching it.
I will eventually.
Yeah. They still want to make
after
a fourth
I watch
movie
all my shows.
I'll just go back to Star Wars.
Where they want to bring Patrick Stewart back?
That's
but
what
they
we
shouldn't.
missed in the news.
What? Stephen Hawking?
No, well, obviously.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Angry
Dwarf man?
Dwarf man. My man.
He loves dwarves.
In games.
In games.
Let's clarify.
Sorry. Yes, let's clarify.
No, Jon Favreau's getting a... Oh, we talked about that last week, didn't we?
What?
Jon Favreau's getting a Star Wars show?
Yes,
that was
yes.
a couple weeks ago.
Maybe.
Yeah,
But
I was
way,
here when you talked about it.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, because, you know...
Either way, see, that'll
It was
be...
the Brian version
Yeah.
here. It wasn't the Tony version here.
Thanks!
Thanks!
It wasn't the Tony version. It was the
Brian version of yeah. But like that, I think will be better for me as a.
Well, then they
space
want to do the
shooter.
rated R.
We're talking about movies and games that we have played and or watched, and I will turn the volume down on the computer to make sure that
They want to do
blaring
that.
at us.
They want to do that rated R Star Trek,
Oh, really?
which I don't fully agree with.
I don't understand that.
I
With
don't know.
Tarantino doing it.
Oh, right.
I
For
don't
the
fully agree
fourth
with
and
it, but-
final movie.
No, I don't even know if it's supposed to be tied into that.
Just a Star Trek.
Just a
movie.
Star Trek
just a
movie
Star
that's
Trek,
rated
yeah.
R.
That makes no sense. Because
Like,
that's not
Star
even
Trek
close
was
to...
always very...
Again, it's
light.
exploration
Yeah.
and discovery.
Not
It's not
war.
about fighting.
It's supposed to be a peaceful
Yeah.
federation.
Yeah,
That's why their phasers are always set to bloody stun.
Yeah,
not to kill.
not to kill. Set your face.
Although on this kind of separate note, I do like Mark Hamill's idea for a new Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
I don't know if you read that.
I read about that.
He wants to do
Force
this
Ghost movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Make it scary because it's not. Ghosts aren't supposed to be.
Mark Hamill can have all the ideas here.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting
People
idea
don't give
because
it to
all
him.
we've seen is the nice, hey, Force Ghosts. We've never actually seen them haunt anybody.
Well, because Sith can't become Force
I'm not
Ghosts.
saying Sith.
Well, but no Jedi is going to be like, woo!
No is mad, so he's going to haunt people.
No,
Yes.
that's not how it works. You cannot become a Force Ghost if that's your feeling going into it.
Yeah.
You died and you're angry at
You
it.
have to actually be in a state of tranquility and be prepared to become one with the Force. That's why Obi-Wan, when he's all ready to die,
He was like,
he preps.
Mm.
He doesn't just...
What about Qui-Gon?
Well...
I was trying to think, and I reached there.
He can't actually become a Force
We
Ghost.
don't know that.
Well, we do. Canada!
Yeah.
Canada.
Canada.
It is still cold here.
Oh, come on.
It's not cold.
It is chilly at
We
best.
have a snowstorm on Friday.
Chilly at best.
That is
We did not have. Okay, it melted the
I was
next
gonna say
day.
it melted during the snowstorm. But no, you can't. Like Qui-Gon Jinn, the only reason that
How is he talking to Obi-Wan?
the only reason that they did that was because he was in a very Force-centric place and he could commune with something out there that was Qui-Gon. But there's no actual Qui-Gon can't become a full-on like.
She's eating something.
I know he can't become a ghost like Yoda and Obi-Wan and Darth.
Yoda
But-
can affect the physical realm.
See, and Anakin became the ghost at the end because, again, he found that peace and tranquility.
Because he
before
found it with
he
his
died.
son.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah, no, that's why I thought him
Oh,
first,
no.
but no, I went Qui-Gon.
No.
Because Qui-Gon did not die
No.
in a...
Qui-Gon was a very special circumstance,
Did
and they
we
made
ever
sure
see
they knew that.
Qui-Gon as a Force Ghost?
In the
Kleenex.
Star Wars Rebels show.
Oh, Star Wars Rebels. I haven't seen
Exactly. So,
and other than that,
and this is where you decide to end.
yeah.
As Nick leaves.
I didn't really do too much. I was selling my old car to get another newer used car, and I've been spending a lot of time with that, so I didn't really
Fixing
do
it?
anything. Huh?
Fixing it.
No, just
I just sold my old car and got
trying to
a
get
different
stuff
car.
going. so.
Yeah, doing adult stuff.
That's
Boring.
boring. That's
Adult
boring.
stuff.
No one wants to hear that.
Yeah.
See, so that's it.
Because of Tony, I've started I Am Setsuna again.
Puppy.
Yes, there's a puppy.
She's our
Wondering,
mascot.
kind of. Also, our technical difficulty.
Also, technical difficulty 2.0, because she sometimes makes the sound go away. The other one knocks the camera over, this one makes the sound go away. I started playing I Am Setsuna again, and I had to restart because, like any JRPG, if you stop playing, you don't remember
lose
a
yourself.
damn thing.
Yeah, I'd probably start Persona over again.
Yeah, so I Am Setsuna, obviously Escapist 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
I Am Setsuna, by the way, good game. I've talked about it before.
It's hard to get into JRPGs.
can be this one, and again, this one's really weird. Is you're a mercenary assassin, and you're sent to kill this person, and then you get to her, and she's like, "I'm a sacrifice to keep monsters at bay." So, thanks.
Thanks.
I keep monsters, like, to keep monsters at bay, I have to die anyways. She's like, so if you're gonna kill me, like, if you help me get to where I'm supposed to go, I'm gonna die. So, and in my brain, the story is obviously I'm trying to stop her from sacrificing herself for whatever the reason is. But your character's just like, yeah, it makes sense to me. Let's do this. Like,
go along with it.
Yeah, that works. So that's the point that I'm at with that game. It is very bogged down with JRPG, like your moves and this and like all of the stuff you can do. It's almost like playing one of the Final Fantasies where you had to equip magics to make sure you could do this and that and everything. Like, it's getting to that point where I'm like,
it's pretty still complex.
I don't know what's going on.
JRPGs are really complex for me.
I just keep using the same move over and over again.
That's all you do.
So far, it's working out okay. My wife and I have been watching Unreal Season 3. That is the show by... This is the show by the lady who was first producer on The Bachelor, and Marty Nixon, who is on Buffy.
Okay.
So this is a fictional show,
Yeah.
and it is the show about the production team of a Bachelor-type show.
I think I remember seeing trailers.
Yeah, so we love, like, Season 1 and 2 are great because it's The Bachelor, and you have all the Bachelorettes, and essentially the producers' jobs are to get the Bachelorettes to do the things that make you want to watch the show. So start a fight, or, you know, in one episode they legitimately give a girl enough laxative that she poops herself, sort of thing, because it makes good
for
TV.
TV.
Yeah.
Things always go way too far, and it's the best show because they are so evil and so mean. You're just like, what are they going to do this time?
When are they going to get their comeuppance?
And that's kind of the shtick, is like they don't, which is the best part, because they just continually get away with all of this stuff. And sometimes they get the episode where someone comes in and they're like, I'm gonna get to the truth of all this, and they're like, oh no, and they have to try and like
Fake it.
do different things to keep them preoccupied while they do all this like other stuff on the side.
Yeah.
So this season they've gone from the Bachelor to the Bachelorette.
Okay.
So now there's the one girl and a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And then of course it's all the stuff behind the scenes. It's really the shtick. You're not obviously watching, and it's all fake. So again, it's a scripted show. It's not like you're watching The Bachelorette and they're like, this is what we're going to do.
This is what really happened.
But then you see like a commercial for The Bachelorette, and you see like these guys getting into a fist fight, and you go, I wonder, because Unreal is legitimately like one of the producers walking up to a guy going, you gonna let him do what he's doing right now? He's like, why don't you show him what kind of man you are? Like, they poke them just enough, or they feed them enough booze, or they like get them into the right situation where all of a sudden the one guy ends up slugging the other guy, and you're like, woo,
good TV.
and the producers are sitting in the giant production room going like, yes,
money.
that's gonna get us viewers. So you're just like, oh, all right.
Should we do that too to get more
Just start fighting?
Just start fighting.
We gotta produce something.
We are producing. This is the production room.
It wouldn't. We need other...
Produce other people. Yeah, Brian's just like...
We need to produce other shows. Graham watches. We're gonna...
Yeah, just
start fights in that.
I'll just be off to the side. Brian, you should punch Graham. Go punch him. Whoosh.
Brian's not even on screen.
Just a fist comes out.
Bam.
Either way, it's a really good show if you want to check that one out. It's on Showtime, one of those.
One I don't watch.
We buy, like, I buy the seasons of it when it comes out. So we just, next day we watch whatever the new episode is. So John Oliver I've been watching. That's always a delight. If you're not into John Oliver, that's your prerogative, but I think his show's pretty good.
I like John Oliver.
I finished The Punisher.
And?
Good
show.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Good show. I really liked that it was more self-contained than the others. Like, they just let the Punisher do his own stuff without really connecting.
Without Red or anybody interfering.
Like, you know, Daredevil doesn't show up and be like, you should be a better person. It's just like, you have Karen Page, who's kind of that moral background, but at the same time,
kind
sort of not really. Like, she's there
understands.
enough that you're like, oh, we're still in this universe. Get it? But otherwise, they just let Punisher do what Punisher's
Punisher does
gonna
best.
do. And, like, I'm like, all right, this isn't as brutal as I thought it was going to be. Like, there's scenes where, yes. And
Yeah.
the last fight scene, though, I almost had to look away from the screen.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was pretty brutal.
Like, because he's got all this pent-up rage against this one dude.
Yeah.
He takes it out on him hard, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
do I look away? And you literally think, like, the thing that's happening to him, you're like, all right, that's enough.
Nope.
Frank, all right. Like, I honestly want to go back to that scene with a stopwatch and, like,
Time it.
time it, because it's a good 30 seconds of just, like,
Beat down.
pure me going, like,
Yeah.
solid show.
It sets up for a second season, though.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
well with
Yeah. So I'm good with the Punisher doing
Punisher.
just
yeah.
Punisher stuff. He doesn't have to connect to the other guys. Like, in all honesty, the guy who did the showrunner for Daredevil the first season, has expressed interest in doing a Moon Knight show. If Moon Knight came into the picture, I could see him and Punisher kind of
Well, Moon
doing
Knight
a shtick,
kills
but-
too, doesn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
But
is
he's also a schizophrenic.
essentially kind of. He does have
multiple personalities.
He does have an Egyptian god in his head, so
I thought it was multiple personality with Moon Knight.
it is because
Okay.
of the Egyptian.
No,
god.
they were like there was more than just those
There
two.
is. There's 4.
Okay. Yeah.
Moon Knight's one of them. One of them's a detective. One of them's a rich guy. One of them, like, and that's someone even said, because I was on the subreddit while they were talking about this, and they're like, wouldn't it be great if he was introduced on all the different Netflix shows, but as different people? So, like, one he's a cab driver driving Jessica Jones around. Another one he's a rich guy with, like, Danny Rand.
Yeah.
And one of them he's the detective trying to solve something along the lines of a Daredevil something.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and then one time he's just Moon Knight walking down the streets of Harlem because he's in a giant white costume with a kind of pointy hat. And they're like, and Luke Cage is like, squeeze me?
But that would set up for a Marvel Knights.
Right. So that's what someone else said, because right now, Netflix isn't getting any new shows from Marvel because Disney started their own streaming service. So if we do get a Moon Knight show,
But this is on its own.
it's going to be on their service. So everybody's like, okay, so we get Moon Knight, we get Ghost Rider and Blade, and throw them into a
Marvel Knights.
Marvel Knights thing without Punisher, which is unfortunate, unless they can.
But they're more supernatural, so I'm okay with Punisher
Me too.
not being.
Me too. So that's what I said. Like, I thought that. I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with that. And someone's like, well, they already did Ghost Rider on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it's like, can we just,
Or
like,
go back to the original
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
There's been a few Ghost Riders, guys. We're good.
Yeah.
Either way, Punisher I thought was really, really good. Jessica Jones, like I said, episode 1 has me wanting more. Episode 2, same thing. I'm like, all right. Like, it's getting into it.
Yeah.
I enjoy the characters, I think, a little bit more. Like, I'm digging the fact that it's not all about her fascination with the Purple Man and, you know, Killgrave and all that stuff. It's more about...
But I'm interested to see because he's supposed to be in this season.
Yes.
I want to know where he fits in.
I'm assuming a flashback of some kind.
Or he's in her subconscious.
And there's always that piece, too, where he's up there somewhere. Like, her brain's obviously not right.
Yeah, no.
She has issues. So...
A lot of issues.
Yeah.
She copes with it.
She copes well. Yeah.
Tony made me watch Nailed It on Netflix.
He didn't make you watch it.
Well, he really did. He plugged it well enough that my wife was like, "What?" and we turned it on. Like, it was.
It's Tony's fault.
We were at my in-laws, and she grabbed the remote, turned it on while my nephew was watching, like, Curious George. Turns it off, goes to Netflix, and my nephew's like, gives it this look like, I was watching that. Like,
what the hell, yo?
he's 3, so, like, it legitimately was like, I watching that. And she's like, not anymore. You're not, like.
Oh, that would have been cute.
Yeah,
this little 3-year-old going like.
We're not that nice to him. It's fine. We're an aunt and uncle. We don't have to be that nice.
She's supposed to be fun, uncle.
We are. We watched a baking show. Either way.
Curious George baking.
Oh man, new show, Monkey Baking Show.
Yeah, Monkey Baking.
Hair gets in everything. DC's gets in everything.
Either way, it's a fairly funny show. Obviously, it's they even say it right off the bat. It's based off of people on Instagram and stuff taking pictures of their baking stuff and going like, nailed it, like with the side-by-side of what they're supposed to do. Yeah. So they have real bakers. Obviously, like one guy's a professional baker. They always have a guest in that's some kind of something or other. So the first lady on the first episode's a cake designer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like she does those, you know, giant wedding cakes that people go like, ooh, and pay millions of dollars for essentially. Yeah. So the first thing they have to do is a baby challenge, and that gets them some kind of advantage in the real round. Mm-hmm. They don't completely have to do everything. Some stuff is pre-made. So like they had to do cake pops, and they're like, the cake's already baked. Because cake pops is torn apart pieces of cake mixed with a buttercream and made into a popsicle. Essentially. So a sucker of some kind. Yeah. Or you can shape it, because you should be able to mold it enough because of the icing essentially you're putting it into. You should be able to. So they're like, we've already provided the cake, don't worry. And then I feel like a lot of the cake mix and all that stuff is already kind of there. Like they just have to... They have iPads with instructions on what they're supposed to do. But the second round, the lady who designs cakes designed a cake, and they had it there. And they're like, you have to make this cake. So you have to do the same color. You have to do the same like design that she did. She had bow ties on the cake, and they had to then reproduce a like 3-tiered cake. That was like iced and that's essentially it. Is you're sitting there going like, even my wife goes, I can't really fault these people. They're not bakers. They're people from their house who go like, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot.
Why?
Because the worse it is, the more ratings they're gonna get.
And again, you get money.
Yeah.
If you win by making the closest approximation to that cake, you get 10 grand.
1 tier.
Oh no, they all made it to 3. Some of them were a little
like
like it's
imagine like Sleeping Beauties.
I'm just stuck in.
So it's a fairly entertaining show. I don't really like the host. She's kind of like a cheap Oprah.
Okay.
Like she's got the like she sits there going like, we're doing it, and you're going.
Is she a
lamer version
face?
of Oprah?
She a familiar face?
No, like I don't know her from anywhere. The one judge who's the baker, he's quite normal.
No, okay.
He's a French pastry someone there or there. And then like the second episode had one of the judges that I've seen on a bunch of the baking stuff on Food Network. So
right.
Not bad show. And then after you guys left, well not you, but him left last week, I watched Justice.
Your other
was it?
Your double when you dressed as Tony last week.
There we go.
I watched Justice League, and I had not seen it in theaters because I was gone when you guys went.
No, you were busy doing something.
That's what I mean. Like I wasn't around or whatever when you guys were going to see it.
I think you were in town.
But I was busy with something.
Yes.
Right. So either way, I couldn't see Justice League. So.
Because me and Tony saw it with the preview in IMAX.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's how we saw it.
I remember that. But I couldn't make it that weekend for whatever reason. So either way, finally saw it. Thanks to Chris. So that was good.
And how'd you find it?
It was a disjointed movie at times. You could tell that 2 people clearly worked on that film.
Yes. But you could tell which parts were which.
Yep. Like it was quite easy to tell certain pieces from other pieces. It would have been a stronger movie had only one of them made that film.
One in particular
would have made a much better film
than the other,
in my opinion.
Yes.
The other person, it still would have been, I think, a stronger movie. It just wouldn't have been a good movie.
I don't know. I think it would have been...
Because, again, Man of Steel, for everything that like we throw against it, was still a strong film, just not a good Superman movie.
Yeah.
Like, good film, bad Superman movie. Batman vs. Superman was just a mess because of all the cuts.
Because of everything that was going on.
The editing was just terrible, too.
Well, so here's the thing, and then everybody goes, well, the ultimate cut is the best cut because that has everything in it that he wanted in it. Still a bad movie.
Still not great.
Because, again, it was
but
just...
see, that would not make me want to go...
Correct, and that was the problem with Justice League and that's the reason I almost... Again, if I wouldn't have been busy, I would have gone to see it with you guys, because whatever. But it did not give me any want to go see it after you guys had seen it, and then obviously we couldn't work out a schedule. So it's just like, if I'm not seeing it with any of you guys, I'm not making a point to go see this film.
Yeah.
Not bad though. I would
thought
rather
find it was actually probably the best.
I still like Wonder Woman more.
Better than Batman versus Superman.
Oh yeah, leagues better than Batman versus Superman, and leagues better than Man of Steel. It and Wonder Woman are up there.
Did you watch post credits?
Yeah.
Okay.
It and Wonder Woman are up there for me. Wonder Woman, I thought, was just they did a good job of.
It has a good story.
It has a good story. CGI in that movie could have been better, like in Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Because that was my
Whatever.
big thing. Was I don't mind the big CGI fight at the end. You kind of needed a superhero film.
Yeah.
But make Ares look more like Ares.
Yeah.
But here's my problem with Ares. As soon as that helmet went on, the face should have gone almost smoky behind it, and you shouldn't have seen it. Because all I kept seeing was, like, you know, Ron Weasley or whatever with the, like, or Lupin or whoever he played in. Like,
Lupin.
yeah. But, like, the mustache and everything, like, he's not imposing, he's not scary. If they would have legitimately...
Fogged
if he would have
his
gone...
face out.
And it would have gone black except for, like, the eyes glowing or something. Because that's what you get mostly for Ares and a bunch of stuff. Would have made it 8,000 times better. Because he's like, oh,
more daunting.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm an imposing bad guy. And I'm like, no, you're a weird English dude. Like, I...
in a suit of armor.
You're not doing it for me.
Yeah,
So
like, the armor was cool, but yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah, so Wonder Woman's still a really good movie, but this one, again, if they would have given Whedon more time with reshoots, or would have just given him the movie to start with,
yeah,
I
like
think we
they're
would have gotten a bit. They did. They rushed it out to try and because they. Here's the thing, and this is where again the internet helps us all out. If the movie came out at a certain time, there is no sound. What do you mean there's no sound?
there's sound.
On Mixer, I've got sound.
Oh,
Testing.
Testing.
we're good. We can see that.
Yeah. Sorry if you don't have sound.
I don't know.
Either way, Joss Whedon, the studio execs at WB, if the movie came out by the release date, they all got their bonuses.
Oh, garbage.
Which is why Joss got this amount of time to do what he could for the movie.
But I my kind of thing with it, even with the new characters that way they were kind of introducing.
Yep.
I liked it. Like, it was almost Black Panther-ish, where you're introducing the characters, giving them a quick origin story,
Yeah.
but you're not giving them the total origin story treatment. And I thought that was a good way to kind of introduce Aquaman and Flash because
and
we all
Cyborg
know Flash's origin story.
Yeah.
Right.
Aquaman
Well, and
is a bit but
they throw it in. It's like, oh, you got hit by lightning. Like, that's
Yeah.
the gist.
well, yeah, when they're talking,
Yeah.
when they're having that one scene.
Yeah.
Oh, I even forgot about Cyborg.
Right.
But yeah, like, it's even him. I don't think they really even did. I know in the trailers they showed him as a football player.
Yeah. They skipped all
It
of
wasn't even in that movie, which is fine.
Well, because again, one of the trailers we got was the Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie we got was again the Joss Whedon with pieces of Zack Snyder's movie. But I honestly felt like Superman was more Superman than we've gotten in now, 2 other films.
He was colorful.
There was color
He
involved.
was more colorful?
He was his right
If you
color.
don't pay too much attention, his upper lip is not a big problem.
I don't even see when. The only time I saw it once.
How come he
but I
couldn't
did not
shave it
see it.
off?
Contractually, for Mission Impossible, he had to keep the mustache.
Apparently, he made a YouTube video where he
he Instagrammed it, and he's like,
here's me shaving.
well, he made some crack about a mustache like not being forgotten, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there was even a deleted scene that someone posted, and it got taken down from everything like right away.
Yeah.
Because apparently the scene was supposedly like Superman landing next to Batman, and he's like, oh, well, that wasn't too bad. Who was that? And Batman's supposed to like look over, but Ben Affleck essentially looks over and sees mustache Superman, because the look on his face is just like, hey Sisu.
Hey, Sisu.
A god evening to you too. But yeah, like Joss's
I noticed it once, for sure.
on the farm.
Nope.
Oh, on the farm, there's one part where I'm
Nope.
like, oh,
Opening.
oh, and that, yeah.
That's where we and Tony noticed it.
Oh yeah.
But we, I don't know. Maybe just the movie just.
And that's the
distracted us.
thing.
You just
I
didn't
legitimately
see.
was like, because it's a slower scene in the farm scene, and I'm like, I wonder if this is one of the. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And only because I legitimately zeroed my focus in on this part of his face. If I wouldn't have, because then I stopped looking and it goes away.
Yeah.
It's like a 3D, those 3D
Oh,
puzzles
yeah.
they used to have
Because
in the
Once you
paper.
focus
I was
on
more
it.
amazed that his suit was colorful. It was red.
There
it
was color all
blue.
through that movie, though, which was good.
But when
Yeah.
he
Yep.
put the costume on
Yeah.
again, red, blue.
Well, but even the Flash is red and yellow, and it's red and yellow.
I didn't like his running stance.
No, he looked like an idiot.
Yep.
But apparently, so there's behind the scenes stuff on that one too. They
He was
had
probably
him,
just trying to make it his own.
well, no, they had him strapped up, and they wanted to almost make him look like he was speed skating was essentially the shtick. So they put him on a bounce pad with. I don't know. He looked like an idiot.
He did. I thought it was just him
Like,
trying
even
to
the
be
trailers, he throws his arms in a
Yeah.
weird
Yeah,
way.
but that's because he's got strings like here, so he
Yeah.
can't full on. Because and then he's also got the bounce pad because they're trying to make it look like an elongated
Yeah.
stride
yeah.
instead of just having him run and slow it
I
down.
thought he doesn't have any elongation. His legs just move faster.
Correct.
So he wouldn't have any elongated.
And then again, people are sitting there and they go to and this is again Zack Snyder's part where he looks at a comic book picture and goes, "I want that." And there are pictures of the Flash where it shows the trail behind him and him
Yeah.
with a goofy kind of looking stance, which looks good
in a comic.
in a comic.
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
Go for it, Sisu. So yeah, in a comic it looks good.
On
On
live
screen,
action.
you're sitting there going, the CW does a better job.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's running like
He's
this.
running.
He's running.
He's legitimately running. If you ever watch the behind the scenes of CW, it looks absolutely ridiculous. Like there was one crossover. So I was out flying inside Wonder Woman. Yeah. You sat down 6 minutes.
Yeah,
Super speed.
I
She
like
doesn't
that
notice Wonder Woman. What was that? The Invisible Man. I love that one.
I just got it.
I remember watching Hollow Man.
Yeah. It was the only joke I could ever think of with Hollow Man. I love that one, CC. But yeah, so like
I thought it did an adequate job.
yes. But again,
Yes.
Joss Whedon's wit was good for some characters. Like it worked out. And I think it helped the movie. A lot of people online do not agree that it helped the movie. Like, they thought it brought it down because what's this cheesy, what's this cheesy one-liner stuff doing? And I'm like, have you guys not read comic
Books are like that.
They are.
Like, I'm sorry, but when Superman comes back into the game, he's got a couple lines right off the bat, and I'm just like, yeah, Soups. Yeah. And I don't want to say too much because obviously I want you to see it, but you're just sitting there and you see him pull these lines and you're like, yes.
But yeah, it's
This is the Superman I've wanted now for
and
two
Flash.
movies.
Flash is kind of
And Flash is always
the
been
comic relief.
Yeah,
Kind of.
sort of, yeah. He got enough going on.
Yeah.
Cyborg, I think, could have
He
been
is an
fleshed-
essential part. I
No,
do remember.
No, I'm good. I'm fine with Cyborg because especially New 52 comics, that's the team. The team they put together, other than Green Lantern, is in this movie.
Yeah.
So that's fine, and I get them and Green Lantern. They're like, oh, we're afraid of him because that movie didn't do well. Clearly, people don't like Green Lantern. And it's like
no,
just don't like that movie.
Yeah, you guys just did a terrible, terrible job.
Yeah. But yeah, I honestly think if Joss could have had the reins on that movie from the get-go, or another director.
Been a much. No,
in all honesty, because
Whedon should've took it over.
there are people who have problems with Whedon, and I would get that. If he directed the whole movie, I think it would be too quippy.
I don't know.
I'd like to see. That's the thing. At this point, everybody on the internet's
We need to have another Justice League movie, but same story and everything, just Whedon.
Well, but that's the thing. If it was Whedon off the bat, the story probably wouldn't have even been close to the same thing. That's the part that's kind of cool is I would have liked to have seen in an alternate weird reality a Snyder cut. I do want to see what he thought he was doing.
where he was going with
Again,
it.
I'm not paying for it, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see the train wreck.
Yeah.
I saw the first 2 parts of the train wreck. I really want to see that big explosion at the end. And then I would have liked to see a movie where Joss Whedon gets reins right from the get-go. Because my other part too is when Joss worked on the Avengers, he brought them all in one at a time and goes, "Where do you want your character to go?" Because he goes, "This is kind of how it works out in the comics. Where do you think you see your character going based on the movies you've been in?" Because even Robert Downey Jr. said that was really nice about the Avengers was, where does Tony Stark go from here?
Yeah.
Same shtick. I think
PTSD.
Well, but I feel like he did the same thing when he went into the DCEU. Was he actually got everybody? Because if you listen to Henry Cavill talk, he knows a butt ton about Superman.
Yeah.
Like, he digs that character to no end. And I feel like Joss came in and was like, "Henry, if you could be the Superman you wanted to be, what's your Superman like?" And he goes, "Well, you know, this, and this is what I'd like to, you know, see by the end of the movie." And Joss is going, "All right, like, let's steer in that direction then." Because you're going to give a better performance if you actually...
If you know where you're going
to go. Let the actors...
have this motivation. And again, don't give complete control to the actors. You ask Gal Gadot about Wonder Woman, she's, in my mind, probably doesn't know a whole heck of a lot about the history of Wonder Woman.
Know that, though.
She might have read some of the comics to prep.
Yeah.
But like Henry Cavill, it seems like he's legitimately been reading Superman since he was 5.
Yeah.
And has always wanted to play this role. It's like Tom Holland in Spider-Man, where he's like...
Yeah.
I play Spider-Man.
Oh, can we do the scene from, like, you know, issue 6 of this run of Spider-Man sort of thing? Because I think it'll blow everybody's minds.
Calm down, Tom.
Because that's where I feel Henry Cavill's coming from. Is he's read all of the comics since he's been young. Gal Gadot might have done some research, but so going to her being like, "Where do you want Wonder Woman to go?" She'd be like,
probably knows Superman.
Ben Affleck really knows Superman, like, or Spider-Man, or Batman.
Superman, because he tried to be Superman.
I know, but he's a giant comic book nerd.
He doesn't seem like the person that would be, though.
I know.
I think there's been so much issues with his ideas of what a comic book movie is and what the studio is that he's very frustrated with.
And why he probably doesn't want to do Batman.
No, he doesn't want to do it anymore because the studio isn't allowing it to be a good comic book movie. Like, that's what I'm hearing at least.
Well, but now there's new people in charge, and obviously, like, it's a big mess.
We don't even know who's in charge yet.
No.
So part of me wants them to just completely scrap this, make it not canon, and restart the DCU or DCE.
We should start with a Green Lantern movie.
No, like Tony keeps saying, Flashpoint.
That is their one saving grace.
Yeah.
Restart.
Well, they were in talks. Who was it? With Jeffrey Dean Morgan. They were talking to him about doing that Flashpoint where
they should.
It's Thomas Wayne.
Yep.
He's Thomas Wayne Batman.
Where Bruce ends up being the one that dies.
Yeah. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Where he's a very violent.
Where he
fatal.
He has using guns and killing.
Yeah, he's just killing people.
Martha turns into Harley Quinn.
Yeah, and then
or Joker. Her version of Joker, I think was.
Yeah, like she's like Joker. Yeah.
Martha Wayne turns into Joker.
Can we just have a Batman movie?
And that's why they can't. That's why they can't kill. That's in that universe. That's why he can't kill her. Is because that's his wife and he still loves her.
And he still loves her.
See, here's my thing. Give me a Batman who doesn't have a 20-year history that I don't know anything about.
We know all about Batman though.
But here's the thing.
He is another one of those guys we have seen his origin story way too much.
I didn't say his origin story. I just don't want 20 years of backstory that I have no idea what happened. Does Robin exist? Does he have a son? Have him and Catwoman gotten it on? Did the Joker actually kill someone important to him in his life?
Yeah. Do it like how they did the Hulk, or they did Black Panther, or they did like Spider-Man and Hulk. Like, they don't really focus on the origin story,
but give him a... He's still like year 1 or 2 Batman.
That was all the Chris Nolan Batmans.
I get that, but give me those to set up the DCEU. Don't give me, I've been around and doing this for 20
Those are too gritty to be even... That was very grounded.
No, stuff. But then don't give me Nolan. Give me a comic book version. Like, throw Clayface in the mix for funsies.
Yeah.
Give me Batman the Animated Series as a movie.
Phantom Menace.
A lot of CGI
live action.
For Clayface. A lot of CGI for Clayface.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace would actually be a pretty cool live action.
Phantom Menace.
Huh?
That was Star Wars.
Oh,
Mask of the
Phantasm? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Mixing up stuff.
That was pretty good.
But you knew what I was talking about.
I did know what you were doing. I was just making sure it's
Go with
like...
the Riddler.
But that's what I mean.
He's easy enough.
Riddler is pretty easy.
But give me something a little off the... and more comic booky, and not light comic book. It's still Batman.
And I like the more detective comics.
And go more detective.
DC was originally Detective Comics.
Yeah, go with him being a detective.
Yeah.
So
not just a
Penguin
pulverizing.
Has got Deadshot to do a murder.
But that's the thing. So if Flashpoint happens, we go back. And honestly, I still have the New 52 Justice League. I think the best opening was Batman running away from the cops because New 52 restarted things. So it's essentially a Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, stuff happened, things restarted. Batman's running away from the cops because he's still a vigilante.
Yep.
And the cops aren't like fully on trusting him yet. And he's running around on the rooftops, and all of a sudden, because he sees or he hears a commotion or whatever it is, Green Lantern comes flying in, and like lands in front of Bruce, and both of them look at each other in the same instant and go like, "Wait, you're real?" Because both of them have kind of heard rumors of green flying guy dressed in a bat costume, and it's like, "You're real," and then circumstances happen where they have to team up and
Darkseid
go fight. The bad guys.
Yeah.
And essentially, on their way, you slowly meet everybody else doing their thing. They land and they're like, "Hey, guy with like the weird, towel around his neck, maybe you should help us out." And Clark's all like, "No, be gone, other superhero things. You're clearly evil," and starts chucking cars at them. So,
as one does.
Yeah. So, like, if they do Flashpoint, there's a place they could go back to. I just need more.
But then you have to do the Flashpoint movie.
Do it then, because DC needs it. Because at this point,
restart.
At this point, coming off of Justice League making what it made for a box office
is not
disappointing.
Which is disappointing. But again, it's a very split movie. You have one camp who wants the Snyder movie. You have the other camp who's like, well, it was good for what it was, knowing that there was 2 directors involved.
Mm-hmm.
You have the general audience, which I've talked to people who are the general audience who watched that movie and went, it seemed really all like, this scene was good, this scene was bad, this scene was good, this scene was bad. I don't know why. And I go, well, there was 2 directors and this happened. Well, that makes way more sense now. But the general audience...
But as soon as they said we're good, we're Whedon.
And again, well, we don't know, because actually the way they were talking was like, well, in the last movie, because again, the general audience goes off of Batman versus Superman, they're like, well, this happened and this happened. This one, like, Superman just seemed off. And you're like, yeah, because he was Superman. And that's where I get like, well, actually, in this comic, in Earth, whatever, that Superman, really, we've been watching Earth 2 Superman for quite some time, because he's a dick.
I really like I want them to restart, but I love the casting that they've done. Like, I like Gal Gadot.
But they could keep all that.
Yeah.
That's the point of Flashpoint.
So Flashpoint would be great.
You still have the same characters. Yeah. It's just they went about how they
You've put them into different
New
points.
universe.
Pretty much.
You've put them into different points in the timeline. So that was the cool thing with
hitting restart on the universe.
That was even the part with the New 52 was Batman in those New 52 comics had Dick Grayson,
Jason
Todd, and what's his nugget? The little one.
Damian
Gray.
All 3 of them still lived at
Damian
Wayne's. Because they all still lived at the manor. So that was the thing with New 52. It was like, this part of Batman is good. We'll keep it. So that was kind of, if they do Flashpoint, it can legitimately be, and maybe get a younger Batman. I love Ben Affleck, so either make him look younger.
And then you can get a different Joker.
But that's the thing, get an actual Joker that people are going to want to see. Because
I don't like that Joker that they did in Suicide Squad.
No one does.
No, that's kind of the... But again, guess what? There was edits and changes made to that movie from the studio.
I believe he was supposed to be in it, wasn't he?
What?
Joker.
Yes.
Yeah. He's supposed to be in the Justice League movie.
He was supposed to be in
but he was
Batman versus Superman 2.
Yes, he was also supposed to be Batman versus... He was supposed to be Batman versus Superman, and so they took his character and Lex's character and smooshed them together, which is why
Terrible idea. They're completely different
why you
villains.
got Riddler pretending to be Lex Luthor, essentially.
Yeah.
He didn't say riddle me this.
Well, because they scrapped that part.
It totally does.
Because honestly, if you had the Joker talking to someone stuffing a Jolly Rancher down their mouth, while they're tied up to a chair instead of like doing that weird scene in the lobby of the LexCorp thing.
Yeah.
That could be menacing if you got like you think of Heath Ledger in that stupid pencil scene.
Yeah.
If you have like a Joker walking around stuffing candy into people's mouths, going like
even what I liked about the Suicide Squad Joker was the tattoo of the hand on or mouth on his hand, and he puts it over. Oh, you're smiling, and
that was the one tattoo that was actually decent on his body. Yeah,
because you just do that to someone that you have tied up to. Oh,
yeah.
See, you're smiling.
That's the thing. Like the Joker's menacing, and again, Suicide Squad had edits done like a month left into the movie to change things to like take the Joker out, put the Joker in, do this and this and this and this and this.
If they would have, I don't know if you've ever watched it, the Arkham Assault on Arkham.
No, I haven't watched it, but
that is a good Suicide Squad.
Sure, there's great Suicide. That's why Suicide Squad is popular. There's good Suicide Squad shit.
They do the animated stuff so well. It just does not communicate well into the live action,
which I don't know why. Get the same writers.
They don't have good organization at this.
You can get away with certain stuff in animation, but with the amount of CG that goes into these movies at this point, like.
You should definitely watch that stuff.
Oh, for sure. I love their animated stuff. But that's what I mean. Get the animated writers to write the stupid live-action movies. I don't need Zack Snyder writing a movie for me. It makes me not want to see it.
Yeah. There's a lot of stories.
You don't have to tell me that blah, blah, blah has written the movie. I don't care. Deadpool's running off the fact that, like, Deadpool 2, if you watch that trailer, goes from the studio that brought you 27 dresses and The Devil Wears Prada. They could give two craps about who's writing that movie, producing that movie, doing anything in that movie.
Yeah. Just throw random facts at them.
Right. Because that's all the trailers do, and that's what Deadpool's trying to make fun of, is even the first Man of Steel movie was, like, from the producer that brought you the Batman trilogy, and it's like... So Christopher Nolan's not involved?
Yeah, he's giving money.
He's giving money to Zack Snyder to make this, crap heap start.
Yep. We could blame Nolan.
It's his fault.
Yep.
He gave his money to the wrong person.
Well, the studio gave their money, in my opinion, too. And again, if Man of Steel was a one-off Superman flick, I don't think we'd look at it with such disdain.
It was not bad.
The fact that they tied it.
But the fact that that's the thing that starts it all off, it's like...
Because it wasn't Iron Man.
No. And that's where if they even would have started with a Flash movie, you would have actually been better off.
I don't know where you would have started. Because like I said, Batman's
or Wonder Woman. She's been around a long time.
Too much.
Yes.
I don't need another...
But again, I don't want... My problem with the Batman they threw into these movies was he's been around.
Yes.
He's been around so long.
But if they would have acknowledged that, would have you been okay? That he's been around for...
Well, the problem was they did.
Or if Superman would have...
And then they didn't. Because, like, Alfred's like, well, we've been doing this a long time now, Bruce. And you're like, okay. But then, like, we've talked about this before. Superman's all like, this Bat character's running around doing things in Gotham City. And it's like, yeah? Like,
you just noticed that?
Like, you're just taking notice of this, buddy? Like,
yeah, so if they would have fixed that part, you would have been
marginally better with it, but at the same time, give me more of Batman's
what has he done?
What has he done over those 20 years? Like, start somewhere. Even if they would have been like, oh, Batman's been running around for like a few years, or he had retired,
he's come
and came back to fight like Superman, like that piece I would.
Just like the comics.
It's almost like in the comics. When he goes to fight Superman, he comes out of retirement.
And needs a suit.
Yeah. Because he can't fight a, alien from another planet that can fly and crush buildings. And shoot lasers out of his eyes.
Yeah.
Like, again, Zack Snyder looked at pretty pictures, made a movie about pretty pictures, because, again, he does a great job of that. 300.
Good action scenes.
And his action scenes are awesome. He makes a very nice visual film.
300 was good. I liked those ones.
I
liked the
awesome,
visual scenes
of 300. But there was no story in 300.
But you don't need... That was not a story-driven movie.
Correct.
Either of them.
Because everybody talked that movie up, and I finally watched it, and I'm like, that's pretty...
Good action movie.
It was a good
action movie.
People were talking about it as such like it's this and it's that, and I watched it and I'm like, a lot of people got stabbed. There was some good action, some good kicks. Like, you could feel those impacts, which is good. That's what you want in an action movie, but I really don't care that those people died.
Yeah. I had no connection to them.
But that's the piece, is like, he's good at that. Even Sucker Punch is a really good action sequence. The girls in the that asylum.
That asylum.
Right, yes. Okay.
It is a really good music video mixed with an action movie.
Yeah.
Like...
Even that, I would have liked a more story.
But that's my thing. I don't care about any of those characters. I could literally hit the skip button to when they start dreaming again and go into the next action sequence, because I do not care.
Yeah. It's nice to watch, but not really
like
something
they're trying to make you go like, oh, what a horrible life she's had. And I go, all right. And I like, is this guy going to get his comeuppance? Is this going to happen? Is that going to... No? All right. Why am I... All right.
Yeah.
Well, they're just escaping into their psyche because what they're dealing with is so bad. Well, then show me what they're dealing with.
Yeah. Help me understand the situation.
Yeah, so that's my thing. Zack Snyder makes really good action, really pretty movies. But he's lacking character.
He doesn't know how to build character.
The hell is that? Kick-Ass.
No, was that him? No. That was not just him. If that was him at all.
Was it him? I can't remember.
No.
I don't think so.
I'm going to go.
Could be wrong, though.
Could you stop?
But she wants to make out.
Sit. Sit, boo-boo, sit.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Kick.
I will get you Justice League. So
okay.
So you can watch it. You're not here next week.
No, I'm working, unfortunately.
Kick-Ass. Matthew Vaughn was the director.
Oh, I didn't think it was Zack Snyder, but it just seemed like he might have.
Well, because again, like there's some good visuals in that movie, but again, Kick-Ass had a storyline to it. So get Matthew Vaughn to do a
yeah. I don't think he's done anything in a while.
But that's the thing, like...
Oh, yes, he has. I think he's Kingsman.
He is Kingsman. Yeah. See?
Yeah. Zack Snyder did he do...
Watchmen.
That's what he did. That's the one he did.
But even that would have been better with a more of
a lot of people
story.
Go, it's a really visually stunning story. But you don't care about 99% of those characters. Like, they're like the creation of, this character is amazing to see, but...
Don't care.
So
that's the thing. Get someone else to write the movie, get him to direct. Maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't follow it, though.
And that's the problem. So...
Don't make movies anymore.
Get out Zack Snyder.
We can say that about a lot of
Make music videos.
Make some music videos, that'll be,
We could say that about a lot of directors.
I could say that about a lot of actors and directors. I've been saying it for years. I don't know why Julia Roberts still has a job, but she does.
Yeah, but you just don't like a lot of actors.
That's because they can't act. When you act, I should picture you as that character, not Julia Roberts in Ocean's 13.
Yeah, you should...
Not 11 or 12.
It's like Heath Ledger. Like, Heath Ledger was great, because you'd be like, oh, that's Heath Ledger.
See, but even like people go to like Daniel Day-Lewis, who transforms himself.
Yeah.
I don't need you to transform yourself.
But everyone, Heath Ledger was the same way.
He was for quite some time.
He still was a method actor.
Oh, I get that, but at the same time,
so was Jared Leto. He's a method actor.
And you don't need to be a method actor. You need to, on screen, make me believe you're that character. Like, that's the thing. For as much crap as Johnny Depp gets, you watch Willy Wonka, he is, and if you actually read the books, a closer approximation than Gene Wilder was.
It's because they didn't want to creep people out back in the day.
But I get that. But that's the thing is, he's Willy Wonka. I'm not looking at it going, oh, Johnny, you kook. I'm going like, all right, like Willy Wonka's just evil,
He is.
Well, but that's the thing. A kid gets thrown down a trash compactor by a bunch of squirrels, and he's like, and I go, damn, like, good.
His happy place.
Right, like, I'm like, tee-hee-hee, because, Willie's all like, yeah, like one by one, they all go. It's a horror film if you really think about it.
It's like Agatha Christie's.
He does.
He has a plan.
Like, it is a horror film for kids. But that's the thing. Like, those kind of actors I get. People like Richard Gere and Julia Roberts who show up in a movie and you go, oh, look, it's Richard Gere.
Playing
Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Pretending his name is Bob instead of Richard. Like, those actors can go away. And then some actors, I think...
You're going to lose a lot of actors.
I know I'm going to lose a lot of actors. I'm fine with that. Because that's my other problem is studios rely too much on the name stuff.
It's almost like
Gear
Brandy.
hasn't done anything in a long time.
It's because I kept talking about him and he finally quit.
Julia Roberts still does stuff.
I know, so I'm still working on her. Her niece can act better.
Yep. I don't
Emma
know.
Roberts.
Yeah, I know who it is. I'm just trying to think of what I've...
Other
than Scream 4.
She's in Scream Queens.
Well, I have to watch that, though.
That's actually pretty good.
And she was in American Horror Show.
Yeah.
Horror Story. At least...
Yeah. One episode or a season or whatever it was.
At least one season.
Yeah. That's
I think she's actually a regular, but...
Yeah. Scream Queens was a
quirky?
Different show? I've watched like the first few episodes and I'm like, all right. I have to be in the right mindset for this one. Like, not that it was bad, it was just like, I am not prepared for this show. My body is not ready to...
Yeah. She was...
She's in a bunch of kids
We're the
movies before,
Millers.
so- Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But see, with another person who can't act, because Jennifer Aniston should also quit.
Okay. Something about that female gender that you just don't like.
Oh no, Denzel Washington can also quit.
I like him.
A lot of people do.
A lot of people like him.
I've never seen a movie with Denzel Washington where I'm like,
Equalizer?
top of my list. Nope.
Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's coming out with number 2 in June.
I think, honestly, Denzel, it was Training Day that just threw me off of him, and I just haven't been able to recuperate.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
probably one of his better films.
And it's one of his better... I didn't like him in that movie.
I'm trying to think of what else I have that he's in.
Denzel.
John Q.
Yeah.
First one with Denzel Washington I've seen was The Pelican Brief. With
Seen
Julia
John Q?
Roberts.
Have you seen John Q?
Yeah. I've seen most of their movies. I like to actually have information on the people I know.
Except for Tom Hardy. You don't know who Tom Hardy is.
And again, it's not that I don't like Tom Hardy.
And you've watched a lot of movies with Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy's
You don't know who he
such a
is.
He's just unrecognizable to me. He's not memorable.
You're face blind to him.
But again, I must be, because again, it's not that he's bad. Otherwise, I'd be like, oh, Tom Hardy.
Was Leo in that category for you?
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
He was until, because again, he did a bunch of the romantic stuff, so ending with Titanic, and I'm like, I'm done with you, sir. And then I watched What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and I went, oh, you can actually act, cool.
And then
Which
you
was a
came
movie
back-
that
and then
he
you came back
previously...
to him?
I did.
Okay.
You can redeem yourself. In my...
And Julia Roberts really...
He's forgiving.
You know what? Julia Roberts did one movie that I think she's really good in. The Mexican, which is a horrible film with Brad Pitt and James Gandolfini,
okay.
and it is about a gun that they have to take down to Mexico. And it is so bad. Like, everybody is so bad, except James Gandolfini, who plays a gay mobster,
Okay.
which is just, like...
Hilarious.
After seeing him Tony Soprano for, 9 years?
Yeah.
You watch him be, like, tough guy, but trying to hide the fact that he's gay. Like, his part's great. Brad Pitt plays...
Brad Pitt.
But again,
Pitt is
Brad Pitt has
is
odd...
Brad Pitt...
No, because he has odd range. Because he'll do something like Snatch, where all of a sudden he's like gypsy boxer guy, and I go like, all right.
You can do this.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And then you see another movie with Brad Pitt.
Like
and
Mr. and
he's-
Mrs. Smith or something
Right.
versus
Fight Club.
Right.
He was good in Fight Club.
But that's what I mean. Like, he's done enough
He's got
stuff where I'm
some
like,
range.
all right.
Seven Monkeys, he was a little weird.
I'm okay with weird.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That's a...
Bruce Willis actually has range too.
Bruce
but
Willis
they
is
just
another odd
typecast
one to
him,
me.
though.
Well, and he's also a douche.
Is he?
He is a
Oh, I
douche.
don't know.
If you've heard a lot of different movies, he's a douche.
He's a,
Watch Kevin Smith's podcast. Kevin Smith talks bad about no one except Bruce Willis.
Yeah, because that Live Free, Die Hard.
Yeah.
That's why he wasn't in Expendables anymore.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
he actually wanted too much money for the scene he was in.
Yeah. So apparently, like, Kevin Smith has one story where he's directing the scene,
Yeah.
and he goes, you know that movie you did where you played this guy and this was the scene? Could we be more like that? And Bruce is like, already done that character. And he's and Kevin Smith's like, well, I know, but I think that's what this scene could. And
Needs.
it's like, no. Kevin Smith's just like,
Let's see, I liked Live Free, Die Hard, though.
all right. And a lot of that was Kevin Smith adding his again, I think Kevin Smith deserves more touches on some of these movies.
Yeah.
I've been saying it for a while.
I think it was
now,
actually
but
one of the better Die Hards.
it was one of the better Die Hards. That's what I mean. Like, that's my thing is I like start bringing those guys in to make
Yeah.
these movies.
Yeah, that reminds me, I need to book him again.
I know about Die Hard.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, Joss Whedon was, I think, a good person to bring into Justice League.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Smith should get some kind of
DC movie?
shot at it. You know
I
what?
don't think
He can do Marvel. He's written
Stay
for
away from
Marvel. But honestly,
DC needs more help.
DC needs the help.
DC.
Yeah, DC needs help.
Do it.
Go help DC.
Who cares? Put him on the Flash movie and see what happens.
Flashpoint.
Done.
Flashpoint.
If anybody's gonna pull off
And
some
then he can
weird
restart
wonky,
and
like,
it's his universe now.
done.
There you go.
I would put Kevin Smith in charge of a like comic book universe. Other than he's gonna croak in 5 years, but you know,
Doesn't matter. He can do a lot in that time.
he can do a lot in 5. Well, no, they're not giving him like that. The artery that is clogged is not a good artery to have clogged. Either way, his last.
It's a good 5 years then.
Yeah, his last podcast was actually really funny because they let him out of the hospital.
Yeah.
So he got to do his podcast, and he's like, "It's my first one since the heart attack." And then the news from that day was that Avengers got moved up, and he's like, "They're just making sure I see it, man."
But yeah.
So there you have it. That's what we've been up to this week. Last week, I guess. This past week. Not this week. This week coming up. Boy, howdy.
I'm hoping for
I
a
have
lot,
to tackle.
I'm hoping for a lot.
One screen got a movie going, the other screen's got a game going. We'll just pack it all in.
Well, there's no more Oil King for me.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Got some hockey games left.
That's fine. There's 2
Not a
games
lot.
tonight, and then there's only 7 games left, so
Yeah.
it won't be much longer.
Yeah.
And then playoffs start. But
Yeah, but even but I mean.
But even with hockey, though, the thing I'm watching now is the McDavid race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we cut out real good on our last game.
That's the only thing I'm watching for right now. Also because I have him in my pool. So it's helping.
So our last hockey game, I'm watching. I'm like, all right.
Which one?
The Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Yeah.
Senators.
Yeah.
Like where we just exploded for a minute.
Yeah.
Either way.
We did that in the previous game, too.
Well, but so I'm watching the game. I'm like, all right, not bad. Like, we're playing pretty good. I'm like, I'm going to go have my shower because I like to head to bed after the game's over. Game's not going anywhere.
It's 5:30 start.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm going to go have my shower. Come back. We've scored 3 goals in the matter of 1 minute. And I'm like,
You should not be watching then.
You should take more showers.
apparently that's when the game starts.
The game's on at 8 tonight.
I'll just head right in and just sit there for 2 hours. My water bill will go up, but the Oilers will.
We have another game tomorrow.
The Oilers will make the playoffs somehow.
No, we're mathematically eliminated.
I know we've been faded on Reddit. It's fine. I understand.
We've been faded on Reddit.
So on the hockey subreddit, you can.
Now choose your favorite team.
Well, no, you can pick which team logo you want next to your name on the subreddit, and as you slowly get eliminated, it goes from like a solid color to like 50% opacity.
Yeah.
So that you know who's in and who's out of what playoff, and it's just so the Oilers the other night. Because everybody's like, aww.
Now you get to choose a team.
I have to look at even the playoff standings. I haven't looked.
I'm going Winnipeg or Vegas.
I'd like to. You know what? Vegas would be fun just
because it's their first year.
First year.
And no one expected them to explode like they did.
They're the first inaugural
Everyone
team to
thought
have
we'd
100
be.
points.
I know.
They could clinch tonight.
Yeah. Vegas and Edmonton totally switched expectations.
No.
For the season. A lot of people expected really high.
Well, yes, they did
For
switch.
the
There was
Oilers.
another Canadian team I was thinking of, though.
Oh.
Either way, there you go. So
Hockey-
thanks
that was a
for
little bit of
watching, ladies and
hockey
gentlemen. We'll be back next week without you. Well, but with
your
you.
doppelganger.
with your duplicate apparently.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's the hat. See, he changes his clothes enough.
We never questioned it before.
No.
Now we are.
We've been here at the same time before.
So you.
Not in like a month and a bit. Something happened.
Yeah.
I think one of you killed the
Was
other
there an
one.
explosion, like a chemical factory or something, with theirs too? Were doing
Flashpoint.
something?
I mean, what?
Yeah. They just morphed together.
Yeah.
And able to change only into those 2 forms.
Worst superpower ever. What can you do? Change into a different Asian person. It's not even. It's not even convenient where you can like change the way you look completely. It's like I can become one Asian person and then a different Asian person.
People would be like, "You look exactly the same."
It's one of those that only he can say that.
He's always
See?
done that.
Oh yeah.
Tony had a comment last week that we said that only he could
Only
make
he
it.
could make it.
Yeah. See, this is.
They are the same person. Either way, check us out at barrelrollnews.com. Join us next week for more fun and all that stuff. We'll be back then. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
Bye.